I don't give a fuck about anything other than winning games.
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me that we need to get a better bus driver and that's stopping us from winning, I'll drive the bus, or I'll figure.
I feel like everybody quotes you and is talking about the four coactives or the five coactives because of you. What was the genesis of that? How did you do that? Because it is a
Well,
great foundation.
yeah, but it was a really simple way for me to explain to people that, back to Fernando's comment, that we think we're geniuses from time to time, right?
Yes.
If you're a strength coach, you have one small piece of this pizza.
We all think it's the whole box.
Yeah, we all, yeah, exactly. We think we made the pizza and the box, like,
Yeah.
we think we made, but it's, and also just to make people aware of, if you lose a game, it doesn't mean that it's entirely your fault. And sometimes as well, there were a number of reasons, but also in some programs, strength coaches can be guilty of doing too much. Good strength coaches, but that intimidates, for example, perhaps the psychologist, the nutritionist, the medical team. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And by just backing off a little bit and giving some of those other people voices, you can make a huge difference. And so it's just to be aware of everything that comes together. The other element, of course, is that strength coaches are, in terms of psychology, probably spend more time with the athlete and have a bigger impact. I have talked to a special operations group. I remember saying, 20 minutes in a dark room with a psychologist is not going to fix 2 hours with a strength coach that is saying one message and they're saying something else.
Yeah.
It's the same in football. The staff, the culture, but particularly the strength coach, working very closely with the psychologist can have a far greater effect. And that's just one example, though.
Agreed. Now, you said the word strength coach, and we're obviously Strength Coach Network. How do you feel about people that get so, bothered by the term strength coach, sports? Like, what I mean, I know DeMayo's joked about it before. I want to know your opinion on it.
Honestly, I give zero fucks. For me,
right?
For me
right.
personally,
who cares?
But for me personally, right? And I used to start talks like this. The very first line I used to say was, "I don't give a fuck about anything other than winning games."
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me that we need to get a better bus driver and that's stopping us from winning, I'll drive the bus, or I'll figure out. You know what I'm saying?
And Fernando, we got a title for this one. I don't give a fuck about any. Yeah, driving the bus. I don't give a fuck about anything but winning.
Who's driving the bus? And we'll just get what's that movie that Keanu Reeves when they can't stop the bus?
Speed.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get you driving there, Photoshop you in the wheel.
But you see, but part of that comes back to the idea of just getting pigeonholed into the strength. That I remember asking, one time you get in the bus, you go into the stadium, and there's no water on the bus, and everybody's going, "Oh, that's whose responsibility is it?" It doesn't matter. These are the tasks that have to be done, and we as a group have to put them together. But I would do it. Actually, I think it was Dan Paff actually was talking about this week. I personally, if I was over a group now, I would just give everybody under the performance director just the title performance coach. But you would have three things. You would have a primary responsibility. So it might be primarily for strength, secondarily for nutrition. Now, you might not be a nutritionist, but your job is to work closely with the performance coach whose primary responsibility is for nutrition, whose secondary responsibility is for rehab or whatever. So that would stop or begin to prevent people saying, "That's not my job."
So you would literally call your nutritionist a performance coach?
Yes.
Yes.
With primary, secondary, and tertiary responsibilities. Your responsibilities, and so you're not just that stops, for example, the nutritionist saying, "Well, I got his diet right. But he's not getting stronger." Well, you're still responsible for working closely with.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember years ago, you sit in a meeting and happened with a defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator wants his players lighter. The strength coach isn't talking to him, right? I'm the performance director. I come in. I go talk to the strength coach. Strength coach is trying to get the guy bigger and stronger. The nutritionist is trying to add weight, creatine. So you've got a defensive coordinator who's trying to get the player lighter and faster with more pop. You got the strength coach trying to get him bigger and strong. Like, there's no communication. But if you have a clear alignment and everybody's responsible, and it stops people then just being the best nutritionist.
Are you calling the sport coach a performance coach too then? Because that would be the best way to do it, no?
If you could, I think what you'd see,
there it is.
What you'd see in the future is you'll start to see the gap close very quickly between the sports coach and the strength coach or performance coach. The closer that you can work with the position coach or sports coach, because what you have then, like, people
synergy.
and people think the strength work and speed work stops when the sports coach takes them. Hell no. If you go back to Bondarchuk's transfer of training, that's essentially what's happening. And the closer you can work with them.
But then, like, the problem gets bigger because we can't really be naive and ignore that part of the, one of the stakeholders is whatever organization. So they might need a clarity of roles. And also it is great when you have synergy, but when you don't have the clear boundaries and the responsibilities and there's no communication, there's no synergy, and it's each for their own, like, save your life, which happens a lot in sport, right? So my title right now in wherever I am that we won't mention, is physical performance coach. And I do have like some tasks, but I think I've done everything, just being a people person, like getting people to do something, liaise, connect, represent. I don't think I've done much
ambassador.
In the gym. Huh?
Well, but
ambassador.
But that's not
a hard locker. I think I'm the hard locker, to be honest.
One of the corporate groups I work with, they have the same thing. So they work on a hierarchical structure and a functional structure. They're two completely different things. But from a hierarchical operational structure, that's in terms of reporting, promotion, salary, and all of that, which you need for the front office. But then the functional structure is completely different. And that's the important thing, because otherwise you just encourage the silo mindset.
Yes. I think I read it from you. Sorry, go, sorry.
It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter whose ideas it is.
Yeah, no, but what I was going to say is, I think it was you that I read it, but it was like the notion that the strength coach doesn't care as long as they're strong. The defensive coordinator only wants them to not score points. And it's the notion that the head coach is the only person that actually wants them just to win. The head coach just wants to, like, and if you can just have that mindset, and I'll never forget that on, again, a team that I worked with was 12-0, had an undefeated regular season. And I talked about this with the guys that I work with now. Like, look, there were some games team won legitimately. What was that score? 10-6, right? Like, are you kidding me? Offense couldn't score. It didn't matter. The defense had them that day, right?
Yeah.
Another game, the offense scored 45. The defense let up 40. Defense couldn't stop. But you know what I mean? Like, that's a team. You
there you go.
Don't have, like, again, the whole idea that it's, we're going to be all defense, or all, like, no, there's yin and there's yang, and then there's, like,
but then
if you can get everybody that wants to just win, and it doesn't matter because everybody's a performance coach and it starts at the top, then maybe it's the owner, the AD, whatever. If they can just be like, hey, like, you're right, Fernando and Fergus, you're both right. Hey, org chart, this is what your title is officially through HR, blah, blah, blah. But listen, this is what you are. You're a performance coach. You're a performance coach, Fergus. You are the sport coach. Or Fernando, you're a like that's primary, tertiary, blah, 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 boom, right?
And you have to, what you have to do is, in order to do that, you start with the game and you basically create a tree model, work backwards. And if it's a case that the only reason we didn't win was there wasn't enough water on the bus, just that's somebody's job to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's a case that, and what you end up coming down to is again, like those four things. The player tactically didn't know what he was supposed to do, or technically, skill-wise, physically, or like from a psychological performance, or a psychological aspect, you figure out what the problem was and then fix it.
Congratulations on making it to the end of the video. Why don't you celebrate by watching more videos just like it? You can also help us on our quest to placate the algorithm gods by liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Thank you.